Hey, my name's Jen, and I am so glad that you made it here on this page and are interested in looking into what this TSW journal is all about. Really quick, my quick backstory for you is I was a baby with eczema, and similar to maybe you, I was put on topical and oral steroids as early as age 2. I was on and off of steroids for 30 plus years, and it wasn't until 2021 that I discovered that I was indeed going through topical steroid withdrawal. It was a very painful realization for me, as I'm sure it was for you, or if you are watching this video for a loved one or on behalf of someone you love, then you know how horrifying the news is that it hits you, that indeed this is what it is. It's not just a rash, you're not crazy, and it is not just eczema. After going through months 1 through 4, even 5 maybe, the pure agony, the incredible discomfort, the pain, the suffering was so tremendous. And all along the way, I was kind of jotting down notes. I was putting like sticky notes. I was pen and paper everywhere. I was putting things in my notes of my phone, jotting things in documents of my computer, and everything was just all over the place in a mess. And I started to think, this is really needed. I need to keep track of what's working and what's not. And so the reason I felt that that was so important is because I wanted to love who I saw in the mirror. I wanted to look back at the woman looking at me and just love her and remember who I was, because the woman I was seeing, I could not recognize. I wanted to feel like myself again. I wanted to stop seeing my arms torn to shreds. I didn't want to see my body shedding all the time like a snake. I didn't want my face to be so swollen and red and wet. I desperately wanted that pain and that itch and that embarrassment to go away. And on top of that, I wanted to feel confident, wanted to feel good in my own skin. I wanted to be able to look people in the eye and not look away and not try to hide my face and not try to avoid going out in public anywhere. I wanted to be able to work again. I wanted to feel like I was accomplishing things in my life and I was making myself proud and making my family proud. And most of all, I wanted to be a mom again. As a single mom, I am an active mom. I play with him. I go to all the sport events. I am a very engaged person in his life, and not being able to show up as my best self was excruciating for me. I wanted to kiss my son goodnight at bedtime without him looking back at me at horror or fear of, why does my mom look like that? Is she okay? And it's hard to explain to your child. So I missed all those things. And I had this deep yearning, this deep, deep desire to get me back to the place of who I was and the girl that I knew. And then I started to realize, well, I've had so much money invested in my personal growth, years and years of therapy, lots of inner work. It kept coming back to me, the power of writing things down. And I'm sure you're familiar with this as well. Studies say that when you write things down or you write goals down, you're 42% more likely to achieve them. So I created something that I wish existed, that I looked everywhere for, but I couldn't find it. So I created it. I created a specific journal just for those of us going through topical steroid withdrawal syndrome. I knew that if I combined all the mental health practices, those techniques that I've used, all the education that I've learned along the way of going through this myself personally, and all the research that I have studied, plus all the powerful resources that have come along my way, I knew that if I could put that together in a really epic journal that would be a powerful, powerful tool for myself to heal, I knew that it could be something huge for our community. I wanted to heal my topical steroid withdrawal with grace, with acceptance, with lots of love. The one thing that I was not doing early on in my journey was giving myself some TLC. I wasn't loving myself. In fact, I was really, really hard on myself. And I know that that set me back in my journey. And so I decided when I was creating this journal for myself and thinking of every one of us in mind, I knew that if this would find its way into your hands, this would give you the peace, the acceptance, the love, and most of all, the hope that you need to heal. Now, I'll admit, some days I found it very hard to do much of anything. Some days I did not open my journal. So I want to say that if you're not somebody who typically writes things down or journals, that's okay. It's exactly why I designed it the way that I did. Some days, if you're so insane with your itch or you're exhausted from lack of sleep, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. But when you do, remember, and you remember to pick up your journal and write into it, I promise you the transformation is huge. I quickly realized that once I could give myself grace and acceptance and not beat myself up, it absolutely sped up my healing. So because of that, I was able to not only create this journal and then offer it to the world, but I have used it myself. And because of that, I want to tell you and be happy to share with you that the mental clarity and the positivity that this has given me, and therefore accelerated my healing tremendously in a very short period of time, it's been astronomical. I am so happy. Now, of course, I'm making no claims here. I can't do that, disclaimer, but I am positive that along with this and the other modalities, treatments, products, whatever, those things that I figured out that worked for me, plus the power of this journal, has expedited my healing. And that is why this journal is so important. So you can remember and notate what is working, what's not working, what was your experience like? And there's so much more detail. I'm so excited about this journal. I have gone from super depressed, hopeless, really dark mental places to turning the negative situations and my pain or discomfort into major positivity, which is kind of crazy to say and to think, but this journal and those practices that are in here and the prompts that are in here have absolutely helped me do that. And I want to help you feel that way too. I want to have you experience that as well. So I want to invite you to get this journal. Get it for yourself, get it for a child of yours or a friend of yours or a loved one that you know that's going through this. Give it to them as a gift. It would be the most meaningful gift for them. And give it to yourself as a gift because it is just that. And it is a 90-day journal, which is great. Whether you're somebody that is on that super fast track and you're one of the very lucky ones that can be healed and to have this behind you in just the first quarter of a year, wonderful. If you're somebody that needs to buy a few copies, a couple journals to get you through this, beautiful. You can do that as well. What's inside of it? Because I'm sure you may be thinking, well, if it's a journal, maybe it's just want a lined piece of paper for me to just write my thoughts. No, it is going to give you the 3 calendars. So 3 monthly calendars. It's broken into 90 days. So you can track each month. It's going to give you lots of free resources. It's going to give you action steps, things for you to try that you maybe have not found. I don't know about you, but constantly spending hours on end researching, Googling, it can be very hard to dig around and find answers and figure out things that you may want to try. And so I decided to take all that guessing work away from you and put it all here in this journal for you, make it really easy, give you some clear action steps, things for you to think about. I'm giving you a free gift for every single person who purchases this journal. You're going to get a free gift and you can take a look inside and you'll be able to figure out where that is and get access to that. And there's, things like a joy list, there's gratitude prompts, there's visualization techniques, there's intentions and affirmations, all things that you must do and fully believe. That is key to this. You have a web of support that will help you identify who's in your corner, who is your back. You're more loved and more supported than you probably even realize. There's many mental health exams. There is areas for you to check in with yourself, really hone in and pay attention to what your body is telling you and saying. There's stress management because Lord knows this can be extremely stressful, as we know. There's grounding exercises, self-reflection areas, and so much more. I poured so much love into this journal. I am so happy to be able to offer it to you. I can't wait for you to experience it yourself. I want to hear all about it. Please be sure to reach out. Let me know what you're thinking about when you're going through it, when you're using it. I have so much love for you. I'm so grateful to be among you. You are so incredibly strong. And I'm grateful that this terrible situation has brought us together. So sending you all my love, light, and healing vibes. Prayers to you. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.